TTTT. What a long week. I have missed you. I hope you missed us. My name is Amina Abdiraba. I am your host. Hello to my panelists. Tonight I have Brian Aseli. I haven't seen Brian in so long, so I'm happy that Aseli is on the show.
Yeah, last week I had to come to work because you recommend happy.
Sasa,
I know where she went.
Like,
and let me tell you, I need your friends.
I'm just saying,
guys. I need to have rich friends like you,
yeah.
Amina.
She booked, by the way, so
like,
she booked an entire mansion.
I did not book
it for herself.
I did not book it, by the way.
Sasa
says fake live social media.
Let me ask you, that money that people rain on you, do you keep?
Nah, money. Which one? At the wedding?
Yes.
No, I don't think it's for real. I think it goes back to whoever was pouring it.
Okay. I was
like secured.
Nishafanya budget na hiyo do. Like
Cindy Ogana, ladies and gentlemen.
The millennial in me.
Hi. And then Nick Quach is not speaking because he wants his own special introduction.
I mean, I literally had to write my name on my shirt. That's the only thing. I'm not the main character. You know, I heard you guys talking and I'm like, it feels like you miss school for 2 days. And then you come back and people are talking in jargon.
They are.
But because what are you guys talking about?
Quach, you had main character energy. You see, before you introduce a pastor villain, na yule mwenye anakuja pale next.
I know.
He was actually prepping for that moment.
Leo sio mimi nitahubiri. Nimetembelewa na rafiki.
Okay, let's settle down. Now, as you know, back at home, the hashtag is TTTT. I'd love to hear from you. We would all love to hear from you. So do engage with us and tell us what you think about any of the topics that we are going to be discussing tonight. Starting off with someone with a whole lot of cojones, okay? Suspected student at the Cooperative University breaks into Kasongo song after crowd is asked to sing the national anthem, at an event that was graced by President William Ruto. Take a look.
So we shall remain standing. We're going to start with 3 anthems. The first anthem is going to be the Kenyan national anthem, followed by the East African anthem, and the third will be the university anthem, the Kenyan national anthem.
Man, I thought they were going to grab a microphone.
I know,
you know, Cindy?
Right? Let me tell you, God saved everything about me except my face. I would have been, if I was in the choir, if that person who sang Kasongo, it would show on my face, I'd go like,
yeah.
Or maybe I'd, you know, just out of reprise, you know, that retentive memory, I'll say, I would add my own. This generation fears nothing. You know, it was interesting to watch, but in my head I'm just thinking, I come from a generation where fear was ingrained in us from the time we were winning. So there's no way I'm in a state function. There's authority. There's nothing in my brain cell that can ever activate and make me think that I should say something like that. But clearly, guys have guts, and like you said, major kahunas.
They do, and you know, these days it's become common practice when the DJ's system fails or when the sound goes off, even for 5 seconds, you know what they start chanting, right? Now, I witnessed that at an event that I was hosting, right? It was a political event, and there were all these, you know,
dignitaries,
popular politicians, if you will, who were in attendance. And, you know, someone got on the mic and said, you know what that is. And I remember being, and I remember I was frozen in that moment because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, do I join them? Do I? Anyway.
But it's something really, we need to, it's called reading the room. I don't think, I just think that person allowed their inner thoughts to pop. Maybe they thought it was going to be funny, or maybe it was not as loud.
It was fun.
It was funny.
It was funny. One thing for sure is that in poetry, there's something called a refrain. It's something that has been sung so many times.
Yes.
In that when a poetic piece is now being presented, you are bound to just repeat that line. So it's a generation just expressing itself. And as Cindy Ogana said, it's a generation that does not fear anyone, including God. But it's also just showing how confident people are. And where the shoe pinches is exactly where we should add in more energy and get to focus on that. I'm just thinking.
For me, this is why I say you need to inspire respect. If as a person you do not, there was no one singing this things during Kibaki's time.
No.
I'm not saying anything about the current government. I'm just saying there was no one who was singing these things. It's because sometimes when you inspire ridicule, that's what you get in return.
Yeah.
Like someone just feels, ushaona ule uncle kwangi mserious anakuanga tu mlevi all the time. That's the uncle you feel like you want to poke ucheze na yeye.
Mbona umetumia example ya uncle mlevi juu ina
I know. I also
No. In this sense,
if you've been sent.
no, in this sense it's different. So that's what I'm saying, that however much I saw Secretary General saying, oh, they should regulate watu waache kutumia mtandao, it will morph in another way. It's now morphing into public functions.
Yes.
It's now mutapiga huyu mwingine next time tena ataimba tu. Like it will turn into, the president has even tried making ridicule out of it. Atinasikia mnaniita, it's not stopping.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to be in a state function.
Yeah.
The kind of security that is there, just to show you the kind of guts this student had. So what you don't realize is you don't just sit like Raya. In between, there are, I don't know what they're called in Kenya, Secret Service.
Yeah.
Our hello, 1, 2. In between, male and female, they are there where you're seated, they're at the exit, they're standing looking at you. So it is virtually impossible for you to say anything and get away with it. So the guards, again, to say, and you're like, come and buy. What I'd like to know is a follow-up. Was he caught? You know,
I hope people would like to know. Sell him or her. Well, it was a guy. It sounded like a guy.
Yeah, it sounded like a guy.
Or
nowadays, you never know.
Never know.
Maybe it was Kalala. I don't know. But it sounded like a guy. So I will go with it being a guy. But I hope they don't sell him out. Don't be snitches, you guys, sometimes.
I know. Yeah.
There's certain things.
But what does selling him out mean when ameifanya kwa event iko na makamera? Hajaifanyia mahali kwake.
There's always that snitch.
There is.
That snitch who wants to be a civil servant.
The one who's never invited anywhere.
Yes.
But let me ask you guys. Now, the government aside.
Yeah.
Have you never been with a friend who takes a joke too far? Like mumeenda road trip, meki joke the whole way, then mefika sasa ni burial, muko next to the graveside, then this person just keeps going. And they just keep going. And they are not stopping. So this is what sometimes feels uncivilized in places like this, that in Isawa, we all want to go to the streets, but ni hapa kweli. Yeah, your friends want to graduate, this is a guest of honor, sisi ndio tumemuita. Like, what's going on? Why are you embarrassing us?
Well, you are a hero though online, let me just tell you. When you do things like that, that's how, you know, you go viral. That's how people start talking about you. Look at it like Twitter back in the day. And I think even till today, it's still the same thing where you say the meanest thing and you try to outdo Aseli's mean comment. And, you know, you now even bring a funnier joke. And sometimes that's why I used to say, it's not even that deep. It's not that personal. They were just trying to be funny. You know, so they're busy making fun of like Kwache's head.
Amina, is that day really? Yeah, like
to me,
that's his shirt,
his phone.
You know,
like they're making fun of his.
I wouldn't even like. I'm looking at the monitor and all I can see is Kwache's head.
But ni sawa.
Ni wasema napenda kutoa hizi vitu out of context.
Ni sawa Amina.
Ulikuwa
nayo kwa roho.
Okay, it's fine. Let's let that one go. My issue is not even that Kwach. There are people who just don't know where to joke.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
It's not even about keeping the joke going. It's just this is not the forum for that. And I've also seen a lot of Caucasian guys online. They make very bad pranks, very bad jokes. And you know, it's someone's graduation or wedding day. And then you come at you smash into the cake.
I am sorry. I think that's
it's not working for you.
It is a lot.
No.
People need to be professional.
Or on your wedding day, you can't smear cake on your wife's face repeatedly and call it a joke. That's not a joke.
Or when
it makes
you're humiliated. It doesn't.
I know my wife. I know she likes the pie on her face.
No.
Wait, what?
What time?
No, I'm just guys.
What time is it?
Come on,
let's take a break.
Is it 10 o'clock? No.
Let's take a break. Also, in that same category are the guys who write "help me" on their wedding day and then they put it like this. It's not funny. Or the ones who make inappropriate jokes in front of family and friends. I can't wait to see what we're going. Why would you? That's in your vows. That's in your vows. Anyway, but maybe it's because Kenyan men are not honest enough when they're reading their vows.
Kenyan men are actually the most honest men.
Yeah.
We're the most honest men in Africa.
So you would be like, I like Tanyash. You'll say that.
Yeah.
But if you like
why
it,
not?
Look at that
Let's take a break.
if you like it,
Let's take a break. The hashtag is TTTT. We will be right back with these liars.
I think it was.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Can you imagine that? Avoiding having cold ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh chicken thigh bone-in at 539 shillings per kg. Orange Valencia at 212 shillings. Guru Basmati rice 5 kg at 999 shillings. And Beko washing machine 12 kg at 62,895 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
It's just hurting me so much. Where did my son ever go wrong, huh?
You will not work for the Sagrados.
But love, listen to me. What if that's the only way for me to even talk to Jackie Sagrado?
Someone wants to frame me, just because I know something about Sanders' murder.
And who wants to frame you?
Does that feel better?
Do you know who Frank is?
Widow's Wear.
And welcome back. Welcome back. You are watching NTV. And of course, the show TTTT, that is the hashtag at the Trend Live, is our handle. I'd love to know your thoughts on the stories that we're discussing today. We started off talking about the student who is from Cooperative University who broke into a Kasongo song. Kasongo, na 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 na. And we don't even know the rest of the words.
Sorry.
So I want to hear your thoughts on that as we also get into the next story. Now, anti-riot police pursue a woman during today's protest in Kipkaren, Eldoret. The locals were protesting after an officer from Yamumbi police station reportedly arrested a 25-year-old male youth who hails from the area and drowned him in the Sosiani River. Despite this, there was a video of this lady who showed heart and prowess. Now we're going to be playing the video as we talk about it. We can start it again.
Jump.
Hey, and she jumped.
If that guy, I know my knees could never.
If he fell into that ditch, let me tell you, and that lady made it through.
My knees could never. But why are 3 cops? Are those 3?
4.
4 yes, anti-riot cops running after one lady. Like, what does she have?
She's first
on
of all,
her.
So according to you, wanafaa kuwa wangapi?
Hata more than is our maybe. And that's why he's chasing her. Maybe. Let's give a scenario.
No, I think we should start respecting our prisoners.
What do you mean prisoners?
Now, our suspects. Should start according them the dignity they deserve. At least now you know from our political rallies you've seen that suspects have to have chase cars. Lazima wakuwe na watu wengi wanawafuata kama polisi. This is what is going on here. This is a suspect anafuatwa na polisi wengi.
Nimependa sana hiyo joke kama imekupita ni sawa. Ni sawa, but I love it. Thank you very much, Pat. Now let's go back.
I'm concerned about Cindy's question. Cindy's question is kwani yako na?
No, she's not in terms of No.
Akona makosa.
She's not armed.
Akona makosa.
Gani.
What could possibly warrant 4 anti-riot police chasing after one woman? What did she do? What is she carrying? What did she say?
Okay, the backstory is that they were protesting because because a 25-year-old was actually
drowned.
Yes. Drowned. That is valid. So this is a protest.
Yes.
Kenyan police do not enjoy protests.
Yes.
Just the other day they were talking about how they can ban picketing, and the High Court was like, it's a right. It's actually someone's right to actually picket.
Yes.
And not only picketing, but of course we can go onto the streets and actually protest for the things that we do not enjoy.
Yeah.
So one thing for sure is that we lost a 25-year-old young man.
Yes.
And that's crucial to get to understand that police are so used to getting away with so much.
Yeah.
And they will never come and actually take accountability and say, you know what, E-Village, you've lost a 25-year-old gentleman or young man. We empathize with you, and allow the people to protest and do whatever, then they'll calm down. Because sometimes I usually feel like as soon as people come and start protesting, police wanaambiwa haya ni wakati wenyu wa ku disperse the people. But it's not like that. You're supposed to just safeguard or block or create a blockade in between you guys and the police station, in between the people and the police station.
Okay.
If at all the people are actually at the police station to cause some level of harm. But other than that, I don't see a reason as to why the Kenya police are really threatened by the people.
Okay, so bado hujajibu swali. So akimbizwa na watu waine kwa nini?
Because sababu yeye ndo alikuwa wa mwisho kwa hiyo protest. So
you said you didn't see a problem.
Why not? Why not?
Because she was. You can clearly see.
She's not. I think she even has sandals or something like that. And here's the irony.
Yes.
Here's the irony. This young man passed on because he was being chased by cops, right? And a cop chased him till the end of the Sosiani River.
Yeah.
He put his hands up to surrender.
Yeah.
And eyewitnesses say the cop pushed him in the river and he drowned. And he was found 5 days later, leading to protests where a girl is now being chased by cops. So it's history repeating itself. I'm like,
are we together?
Are you guys not getting
We are getting
these
it.
cops?
We are getting
Not you guys, like the cops. Are they not getting that they are actually, it's a vicious cycle?
Yeah.
It's a cycle, actually.
No, it's, you know, the cops, sometimes I do not, they are indefensible. Of course, wezi watetea. But what I'm saying in this case is, when riot police are on location, it does not matter ati sasa
what you're doing,
we are going a tactical one-on-one ati riota mmoja akikuja mtumie polisi mmoja. It does not work like that. If rioters are coming, tuwafukuze wote.
No, guys, no. Nyinyi munajaribu again. That is not.
What?
We didn't say it must just be one.
No, Siri saying anafukuzwa kwa nini na wanne.
Naelewa. Mimi pia nasikiza.
Wote hawana watu wengine wa kufukuza.
Swali lingine, hebu sikia. Okay, they were going to chase her until home or what? Like where?
No, until you are out of the area.
But she was already out.
Did you see the other people? Let's play that video one more time, Denga. I'm so sorry. Let's just have that play.
Those even the guy.
Are like it's almost like they chased her to another part.
Yeah, it's true.
Where things were calm. Guys were going about
a real thing, by the way.
Watu kwa maduka. Oh, kuna wale wanakimbia. Oops, sorry.
So in the last batch.
Yeah.
The other thing,
there was a guy there on the right, the black hoodie.
So they were chasing them. I can see.
You know, there was a day we hosted Musamali. David Musamali is a former GSU guy, and he was telling us that sometimes why you see this happening is because riot police recognize someone. Or either they recognize or they identify someone and realize this person, mko watu 1,000 sawa, but in a crowd of 1,000 people, there's always like 5 troublemakers.
Yeah.
So sometimes they decide to pinpoint the troublemakers and they're like, huyu tukimfukuza mpaka Kayole.
Okay.
And she happened to be wearing red.
No, yeah, this could be it as well. The red card.
She were red-handed.
What?
Aseli.
Millennial joke. Support local talent.
Pay the artist.
For live
support.
Hashtag pay the artist.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, no, but Cindy and I, okay, clearly Cindy, they were chasing more people. However, you know, in Kenya, you just run.
Yeah.
You have to run. When you see Aseli and Kwach running away from cops, I am not going to be the brave one to be like, officer, but I wasn't doing anything. As you can see, I'm just from school.
Yeah.
They might shoot me. I don't know. You're scared.
Genetically,
so you
it's
run.
actually a black thing. You see people running, you just run.
You run. Uko mbele. All right, so now privately employed Kenyans are set to fill their pockets with more tax-free payouts after the cabinet passed the Finance Bill 2025 on Wednesday, the 30th of April. In a subsequent post by the head of Presidential Special Projects and Creative Economy Coordination, Section, Dennis Itumbi, this past Thursday, yesterday, revealed that among the changes proposed in the new finance bill, the increase of non-taxable per diem from 2,000 has gone all the way up to 10,000, Bob. So we are going to support you, Aseli. I can see that soon enough, you know, your time is coming. So, Kwach, I know personally, well, we are all affected by this. No, but Cindy has a real job. Cindy has a real job.
A real job where I earn per diem.
She's respected.
You know, when you go to the field, you're given per diems. For those in the NGO, civil society sector where, you know, we do field work and we have been getting per diems for 2K, it does seem like it's a relief. However, the more per diems you earn, you see, they are thinking ahead.
Yeah.
So the more per diems you earn, probably at the end of the month, the more take home you will have. So it's justifying the taxation that is coming up with the shisha and all that stuff. And even organizations may be slashing salaries because they're like, but you're earning per diems. There's no way that the increase is coming without a ripple effect. They are trying to cushion the corporate private sector who have complained a lot about these hash taxes. But, you know, at the end of the day, most organizations that give their staff per diems pay a certain amount of cash. So now, it is justifiable to tax these organizations any amount they want because they'll say, but see, we are giving you per diem tax-free. So I suspect that there is a new tax that is coming to slash the gross, and the compensation will be, but you can still give guys per diem. And you see, not everybody earns per diem. If you're, for example, in finance, in accounts, in procurement, you're not going to the field. And even if you do field work, you don't go 30 days. And you have to use the per diem for where you'll sleep and where you'll eat. So this, I smell a rat. There is another tax coming.
Yeah, already.
Ini kutufunika macho.
Actually, you're right. There are other things. So ni kuuma ukipuliza.
Yes.
That's one half per diem and stuff like that. Another thing that I've seen on the paper today is internet-based TV and radio face 16% tax.
Yeah.
And then also farm produce, drugs hit with 16% VAT in bill. So there are some things that are actually going to be affected. To the ordinary mwananchi, you may have to spend some more money on some commodities, basic milk, bread, stuff like that. And then dawa tumejua, it's been one big issue on ground. So I hope with this increase in taxation, because 16% VAT means that kitu inaweza songa from a good small amount like 60 bob to around 72 bob.
Yeah.
So it's quite nikuma on one end, na kuliza the other end. And we saw every time we move towards, not every time, but at least from last year, what we saw on ground was Kenyans will interrogate this document.
Yeah.
Kenyans will simplify it. Kenyans will convert this document into vernacular. And if you think that you're going to run away from these explanations, nobody is actually safe. But I hope that we learned a lesson, or the government learned a lesson from last year, whereby young people are very serious about what they want for this country.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, just, Kwach, did you?
Yeah, I just wanted to throw it in. I like how cautiously we are moving around with the government. It's like when your mom tells you, na mukule hizo vitu zote ziko huko kwa jikoni. You guys are like, are you saying it in the literal sense? Or do you mean there is something else that tukule ama tusikule?
Yes.
That's how we are approaching this government. We're like, hey, tunaona hizo mazero rated mnatuambia sijui mnaongeza taxable per diems and what not, but where is the catch?
Yes.
Because sometimes with the government there is always where the catch is.
There's always a catch.
But also, what I'm loving is finally the government is realizing more money in our pockets could mean more taxes for them as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, last year what we were complaining about is when you bring punitive taxes, you make me not have money.
Yeah.
And when I do not have money, now you have nothing to collect from. But if you enable me, I get this money in my pocket, I'm able to spend more. That way, manufacturers make more, you tax them more, eventually you get more money. But my issue with taxes has never been the collection process. My issue with taxes has always been the use. of our money.
The use and
You've
the
said
ripple
this so
effect.
many times.
I've said it so many times.
Let me tell you, it's
we
so
have to
bad.
go to the next story.
Oh.
But you have to keep it short. And also, by the way, I just need you guys to know when I cut someone short, see me, I am just employed. There's someone here telling me.
There's a taxed man.
Amina, wewe ni agent wake. You still have the choice. The person with the mic is the person with the power.
Yeah. You have the power.
Yes,
but you go like, you have to cut you short. You need to cut it.
Real quick, I have a friend who's a lawyer, and they have to cut back staff lunches because there's no money coming in. Now, there's no money coming in because people are not doing contractual law, like purchasing land and all those kind of contracts, even banks and stuff, because guys are not spending. They're not buying land, they're not building. A lot of the money that is circulating is not good money. It is fraudulent cash. So the people who are in the real business, because of how hard life is, are pulling back and they're not investing as much. So the lawyers who need these guys who are investing to do contractual work for them don't have clients.
Wow.
There is a real ripple effect to corruption. It is hurting everybody.
It really is. Wow, to think of that. Well, I'll have you know that Kwat as a content creator is living large. Things are working out for him.
He has his own shirt.
I cannot believe it.
His folks wanted him to be a lawyer, so now I don't know. They're like,
niliwaambia mambo ya jivaji. Kujeni tutengeneze skit.
But content creators pia kuna tax inakam. You know, TV and radio, internet, radio and TV based content. It's going to really affect negatively, especially the young content creators. Those who've decided, you know what, I'm going to work on the digital space. It's definitely going to affect most of the young people.
It is. Truly, it is. We were told to move out of the country, though, if you're that affected, Aseli. So, okay, now, you said, what did you say? You said, what did Aseli say? Aseli said that, you know, we need a government that listens to the people. If they did they learn from last year? That's what you said, right? I don't know, because some of those lessons could have been part of the BBC documentary we all saw, but for some of our politicians, it was just all hogwash, truly. What is that, you know? Now, there's a member of parliament who is in trouble, all right? Bashir Abdullahi, member of parliament for Mandera North, has come under fire for making controversial remarks about the BBC expose on the faces behind Kenyan deaths at parliament buildings during the 2024 anti-government protests. Speaking in parliament on Tuesday, MP Bashir intimated that the documentary was done in bad taste and was discriminatory. Okay. He further noted that Kenya has moved on from the deaths witnessed during the protests, and people should not be fixated on the matter.
People are killed, our people are killed, we sympathize, we moved on. Even world over. Remember, there was the same issue or similar in Capitol Hill.
I don't know what's going on with my people, but let me tell you, some of these politicians say the most out-of-pocket things. So, you know the way, was it Kwach, we were talking about this sometime, and he was saying, do they see how, you know, people are mourning? Do they see how we feel?
Tone deaf.
They're very tone deaf. What do you mean we moved on? You moved on.
Yeah.
We didn't move on. We as Kenyans have been angered every single day from before June.
Yeah.
You know, Kwach, I know you...
You know, Cindy asked about Capitol Hill. How many people have been arrested? In the thousands. About Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Trump, the other day, was still pardoning people who have been in prison all that time since Biden was in office.
Yeah.
Hapa Kenya, tuendeleni bana. Hii ni vibes. You know, you see the way people go over funkies. Like ilikuwa ni last year. Oktoberfest ilisha bana. Tuendeleni na vitu zingine. Sasa tutashindia kitu moja. Utashindia kitu moja because there's a family that lost a son, a daughter, a mother, a brother, a sister. How people were being beaten in Kisumu. How people were being beaten in Homa Bay. How people were killed on the streets hapa. What are you telling us? Ati we should forget. Ati tuwachane na hayo sasa ati tuendelee. Let's move on.
And let me tell you, Kwach, the populace is matching the energy of the lawmakers. I don't know if you've noticed, for those who are very active on social media. Right now, when something happens to a politician, we had a politician who recently was shot dead.
Yes.
Apo City Mochari roundabout. The comments, they were like, but as Kenyans, we die and we move on.
Yeah.
And the populace that's talking is the majority. The ones that you will need come 2027.
Yes.
I also saw another clip of an accident of a police car, and a policeman was trapped inside. And instead of people rushing to help, like, no, wacha kufe, watu wanatusumbua. You need to realize that as a leader, an elected leader, you have more responsibility other than launching projects and CDF. You know, your words carry weight.
A lot.
You carry a whole constituency. You carry even a whole, a whole country, because there are people who are watching, taking this clip and broadcasting it in international media that Kenyan politicians don't care about their people.
Yeah.
Now, what you don't realize, the citizens that you're talking to are the ones who are bold enough to say in a state function, Kasongo, and sing some random songs.
Yes.
They're the ones who, are the decision makers of tomorrow. So it was a very, very unfortunate thing to say.
Very reckless. I'm sorry, Aseli, I'm so sorry, guys. I have to take a quick break.
I will text you guys.
Too much.
No, but truly, and you can just see how people don't want to take account.
Yeah.
Just move on. I offended you, I upset you, I hurt you, I did something wrong. But just see you move on. Sasa kitu ya last year tutongea hadi this year. People's lives have never been the same again.
No,
those mothers, those fathers, those friends, us as a country, us as young people have never been the same again. The very people who we thought were going to protect us took to the streets armed and shot our brothers and sisters dead. Like, it's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. Something that was very dark in this country. It's a dark time for us, and no, we haven't forgotten. I want to hear from you. At The Trend Live is our handle. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back after this.
Kibao kila wiki na Carrefour. Enjoy fresh chicken thigh bone-in at 539 shillings per kg. Orange Valencia at 212 shillings. Guru Basmati rice 5 kg at 999 shillings. And Beko washing machine 12 kg at 62,895 shillings. Deals kibao kila wiki na Carrefour.
June 15th, 2025 is Father's Day. The 14th of June, a day before, will be a day for Man Cave 5.
And only men are invited.
It's the day when men will be coming together at Herencia off Thika Superhighway, just 2.5 kilometers. Just before you get to Mangu High School, you turn left and you come here, and men will be congregating here for heart-to-heart conversations.
And only men are invited.
Yeah, men will be sitting down and having one-to-one conversations. I will be one of the MCs, and my colleague Brian Aseli from Nation FM will be the other MC. And men will be sitting down so we can just talk heart-to-heart.
And only men are invited.
Yeah, only men are invited. Buy your tickets today on kenyabuzz.com.
This week on Twende, we discover a side of Kajiado few may know about.
Hapa panaitwa vipi?
Oljorolevo. Oljorolevo.
Oh? There are lakes to discover, prehistoric sites. We will go on game drives, climb mountains, hata tutavuka boda tena.
Tuko Kenya, alafu turudi TZ. Ngoja, tuko Nyanzania.
There's no place you could go to. There's nothing you could do. There's no one you could meet that you could add more value than what you can get here. A lot of those things can add what you can consider as value. But let me tell you, in the absence of eternal life, it's all futile.
This is NTV.
Tonight, he came, he scolded, and they responded in murderous ambush.
Ile chest unajipigia kwamba tuko na mabunduki na tuko na uwezo, unajipigia watoto ya watu wengine wenye they have no direction, they have no school, they have nothing.
Bandits killed 2 police reservists and injured 3 others shortly after Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen spoke and before leaving Baringo. Also tonight,
wanaume waonane kwa da.
Returning to the public arena, the Fred Matiang'i factor.
Tushikane sisi wote, siku hiyo ikifika tutavuka hiyo daraja.
Are the crowds, the endorsements at home and online a sign of hope or just hype? And
so long as sisi na wenzetu tuko kwa leadership ya wafanyikazi katika nchi hii, huyo mama tutampa nafasi ya kuongea katika mikutano yetu. Haki ya Mungu hatampa nafasi sisi. Haki hatapata nafasi.
The COTU Secretary General, who's in bed with government, blacklists FKE boss for not joining in singing and dancing to the tunes of the state.
Get ready to tantalize your taste buds and embark on a culinary journey with Pishi Bomba, the ultimate cooking show that brings the flavors of the world right into your living room. Tune in this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. with me, Claire Karatu, for a mouth-watering adventure.
It's just hurting me so much. Where did my son ever go wrong, huh?
You will not work for the Sagrados.
But love, listen to me. What if that's the only way for me to even talk to Jackie Sagrado?
Someone wants to frame me just because I know something about Sanders' murder.
And who wants to frame you?
Does that feel better?
Do you know who Frank is?
Widow's Wear.
And welcome back. Welcome back. You're watching TTTT. At NTV Kenya is our handle. Please follow us and engage with us. For the show, it's at The Trend Live. Let me start off with Cindy and then Kwach and then Asali.
Austin Kikuyu says, you're running after a lady from the city of champions. Some people are jokers.
That's true. Marathona.
Hey.
Did you say she was just not even really running?
Yeah.
It's like about 2%.
Like they were running out of breath.
Yes.
Metatron Mula Mores is saying, politicians just don't get it.
No.
This is a generation that's fed up with nothing to lose as a result of limited opportunities thanks to bad government. These reckless statements by Marsabit MP Mandera, sorry, are what makes people return the same energy.
No. There's one by Austin Kikuyu. He says, what do you mean we have moved on? Has that MP ever lost someone he was close to? Do they know the meaning and the bad memories one gets after seeing someone die right in front of you? It's really sad. And of course, most of us were actually on ground, if not all of us, because we had to hit the streets. It was a turning point for Kenya where we thought that from whatever we are saying, that the MPs who are voting inside Parliament at that given time would read the tone outside and say, you know what, this is not more important than our country. This proposed bill is not more important than our country. But we've gotten to a point where now the people are have read the room and they've understood that MPs are nothing but a bundle of businessmen. Let me tell you where the transaction starts. It starts during the campaigns. During the campaigns, they come to you with a t-shirt and 500 shillings. You go and say, mtuetu. Then you vote for them. They came, they spent their money. What are they doing right now? Trying to recoup.
Earn it back.
So recouping their money means anything that proposes that we're going to be highly taxed, anything that proposes that they're going to make more money, that's their interest at that given point.
Yeah.
Their kids are not studying here.
Yeah.
For those who are studying here, it's international schools, or rather, their kids studying outside the country. Their safety is within their own pocket because they can pay for 500 people to come and guard their property and their homes. But for me, for that young person who was in Githurai at night sleeping, and a band of so many different security agencies coming to your homes and actually shooting, I empathize with the woman whose son was actually shot by a stray bullet. So imagine a child who was just 4 years old with a bullet running through the flesh. That is the sole of their foot. I'm just like, it's for the young men and women out there who are victimized for a situation, for just fighting for their country. I mean, why do you want to be elected if you don't want to represent a people and care for their safety and their provision? Because if these people were busy working, they would definitely not hit the street. And even hitting the street does not mean it was for people who are not working. It was for the people who are thinking, country, who are we going to leave it for?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you
so
much.
It's our country, yeah.
Absolutely true. You're right. They do just line their pockets. You said they're there to cater to their own interests. We are just there to pay the interest. Yes, you get it? Maybe now we're to fund your lifestyle. And you know what also gets me, by the way? When politicians get online to show off. What do you mean?
Like
I know you bought that with my tax money.
That's my money.
And you want to lie to me that you are some, you know, very skilled
astute
businessman that should be on the cover of Forbes. You're like nilianza buchari na nyama quota. Tukuamini sisi.
Inanikumbusha walimu tulilipa watu chape.
You know? There was a doctor, I don't know if you guys saw this, there was a doctor who had volunteered and she was, I think, maybe within Parliament buildings, and she lost her life. How does her family move on? How does her husband move on?
You guys feel like this is the same feeling black people in America get when they are told
to get over slavery? Get
over it, guys. Get over it. It was a long time ago. Because people do not know the ripple effect. You know, the children that are now hitting the streets were babies during post-election violence in 2007, 2008. They were locked in because of political wrangles. And now they know and they are fed up. They do not want that life again. And they're saying out with the old, in with the new. If you're not ready to stay in line,
2027 is coming, by the way. Honestly, everyone needs to get that voter.
But we need to steal our parents' IDs and their election cards. Because siasa iko mashinani, na siasa mashinani is very difficult.
And they still think the same way.
Sisi hapa Nairobi will say, oh guys, we are going to vote differently. Tafadhali, chukueni kura today.
That is so true, by the
way. Because we are trying to make it seem as though, you know, during election day, we are going to chill, and then those people better choose them. No. Listen, tutachukua kura, and we must make sure that we get to vote.
Aseli, it doesn't take a day. There will be a time we will be the parents. Tungoje tusikue na wasiwasi.
Oh gosh, I'm already the parents.
That time is coming when we will be the ones that they are wishing that we were the old ones in the ushago.
I would be that parent who's actually pushing this country 5 steps backward. May my son or daughter actually
achukue ID
for real, because what kind of business, it's not even a business, what kind of humane reasons do we have to protect a country full of people who love each other? We love each other so much, but I don't get to understand how, as soon as we say politics, siasa, mtu wetu, there's so much death.
Because we're tribal. Let's just call it what it is. We're tribal.
Human nature.
Let's move on to the next story. I see you guys are very passionate about that one. So was I. And Kwat was telling us a story about how he was almost caught in the middle of that. Someone was shot just very close to him. So it's very real for us. Very real for us. All right, so now let's take things to Meru. Meru Governor Isaac Mutuma has reinstated various staff goodies that were withdrawn in 2023 by his predecessor, Kawera Mwangaza, as part of austerity measures. Mr. Mutuma, who has accused the previous administration of mistreating workers, has now rewarded them by reinstating kikombe ya chai. I think we talked about this kikombe ya chai. Oh no, that was City Council here in Nairobi. We were talking about, yes, the Nairobi County officials.
No, it was
it was still
what's her name? Minji. Gosh. Waiguru.
Oh, it was Waiguru.
Waiguru's county.
That's how you remember her.
And that's how I have to relate. Waiguru's county is Kirinyaga.
Yes.
Do you know what I say though to remember her?
Yeah.
Kwach, can we say it at the same time?
What?
Because I feel like...
No. Absolutely no.
You know,
I don't... Yeah, I know. I knew it. it from the word go.
No, me, it's Minji.
Of course, it can't be.
It was by Guru's County when she was defending the increase in chai.
All right.
Absolutely.
So what are you guys thinking about this? Is this, do you think Meru?
The easiest way to, because you know right now we're getting into audit season, and there's county governments have a band rate as well. You have to use a certain, your budget before the end of the financial year, which is next month, because now we start in May.
Yeah.
So the quickest way is to bring up a policy that was no longer there and just inflate it and say we brought back chai and mkate. It's the quickest, fastest way to audit.
No, but the other thing that Mimi comes out for me here is it's always about political games across regimes. It's not about what you guys want or what you guys don't want. It's ulitoa na rudisha. It's uku nataka, hiyo ndio mimi nataka. But at the end of the day, when you look at it well, just venye Cindy amesema, it's the interest of the person.
Yeah. It's the fastest way to
ati now I'm back, so
What I'm just scared ilikuwa 16 million ndio mtajua.
Ndio nasema.
So when it gets to that point is when we get to
realize spent millions on flowers. Don't
16 million China mandazi.
Yeah, it's true. By the way, sasa ile yetu Aseli that you were saying, and Amina knows, you know, where she's from. Yetu ilikuwa ile soda ya 1 million. We all have our moments to shine. We all
hamwezi tushinda sisi watu wa Bungoma because we barrows
carcinogenic
was a 4 million each.
Okay, what about you?
Sisi watu wa Siaya, watu wenye roundabout yetu, you guys are forgetting. You guys are forgetting. The roundabout that we have ya mawe kido. Like
lakini mnaongea na mjui gate yetu ilikuwa 7 million.
Don't forget
Homa Bay.
When we launched a water project through a Bowser.
Wait, that was you?
That was us.
Yeah. This is, you know, when you go online, in fact, on TikTok and Twitter, we compare notes as African countries now. We're like, wow, Kenya, you're going through that. Have you had in Nigeria? We haven't had electricity since 2021.
Yeah.
And we haven't had this, and we haven't had that. It's just...
I look at Nigeria and I'm like, sisi tuko sawa.
Tuko mbele. Uliona ile concert ya rais wa Tanzania, watu venye sasa wanaanza kukasirika. Uliona pia wewe?
No,
because they're saying that, you know, there's a lot of money that they're spending sort of like just gassing her.
Yeah.
Just like, the whole day. All right, so now police in Nakuru recorded forcefully arresting and bundling a person living with a disability into an awaiting vehicle. I don't know if you guys saw this video. If we have it, we can play it. He was among small-scale traders staging peaceful protests against the leadership of the Rift County. Now, tens of traders have been arrested, despite them issuing a notice of the peaceful protest to the OCS Nakuru Central Police Station. Are we surprised?
No.
Okay.
It's happened before.
It has happened before.
There was a lady here, I think, in Nairobi. Her njugus was scattered till people raised money to get her njugus back. There's city council. There's a hawker in town who was bundled into a city council truck, and her child was left outside, and the child was screaming. I don't know if you guys saw that video.
Saw that, yeah.
You know.
You remember the one, before you move on, of the lady who, was it a lady who was dragged?
Yeah.
They were in the car and they were dragging her.
Yeah.
Wanyonge wana haki kwa nchi yake.
And I feel like we've gotten to a point where there's we are not creating goodwill, or we've had a bad relationship with anything called authority, simply because that's how they are treating their the people who cannot defend themselves in the community.
We have to even say goodbye. Teaser to the whole show. I'm like, thank you. I really want you to finish. I really do. No, but imagine we're out of time, and you can see Dan is going.
Yeah.
You know, Dan is my boss, you guys. We gotta go. I'm so sorry, but Asali was saying something, and it's true. We just have a very bad relationship with authority, and that's why Cindy, ukiona polisi anakufa kwa gari, unakasirika, unamwambia na akufe, kwa sababu you feel as though they also take your life the same way. I'm so sorry, Kwach, you couldn't speak, but you can get him online. He will finish his opinion. I'm sorry, I have to go. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Aseli. I'm so sorry. I will catch you at 10 p.m. My name is Amina Abdi Rabadan Mwangi, standing by with the news. Good evening. You're watching NTV.